Bar Stool Sports.
Titus, Brandon Walker, Mostly Sports.
Welcome to Mostly Sports, presented by Jägermeister. Paige just brought in a puppy, and we're very distracted by the puppy. How could you not be? Swifty?
You want to hold the puppy?
Give me the puppy. Puppy. Hi, puppy. Hi, you puppy.
Wish I had a puppy now.
Oh, my God.
There's a puppy.
Oh, whoa.
Is he peeing? Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Just standing tall.
It's a good puppy.
I'm buddy.
It's a good puppy.
We're just going to do this on the show all day.
Yeah. Puppies.
Oh, you're such a good boy.
Oh,
we got a second puppy.
A second puppy. Oh, my God.
this is a bigger puppy.
Welcome to Mostly Sports, presented by Jägermeister. I am Mark Titus. He is Brandon Walker. Brandon is back.
Hi.
It is Wednesday, June 5th. We are live from Chicago with Swifty and Sparky.
You guessed
Said
it?
that with a question mark.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Aw.
Shout out Paul Chicago bringing in puppies. We're going to have the puppies
He's got an active
in the
tongue.
in the office all day today. This is delightful. Ice cold shots. How do you feel about ice cold shots, Swifty?
This one's active, Mark.
How do you?
Huh?
I realize I do this with babies too. I realize I don't really know how to hold them. I just
Yeah.
feel like I'm
Yeah.
constantly.
I'm just letting mine sit. Oh, God.
Makes sense to hold it
Okay.
like a football kind of. I don't know.
You're
buddy.
kind of
Does that feel right?
it doesn't look right.
Does that look right?
It doesn't look right. It looks like
It
you're
doesn't
kind of
look right?
violating that one a little bit.
No, I'm letting his whole torso rest on my forearm,
Okay.
dude. That feels. He's chilling.
What if I lick your face? Huh?
Swifty's just chilling. Swifty,
Oh, man. Puppies. Okay, you can take Sparky.
Swifty, why don't you get up there? Get up there. Sniff around. You like Dale Earnhardt, Swifty?
Of course.
Let me tell you about Dale Earnhardt.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about the fucking Intimidator.
Let's start with his death. It was a day. It was a cold day in February. Everybody was alive.
That's the backstory. Jägermeister, ice cold shots. Damn, that's cold. 0 degrees Fahrenheit, 56 botanicals. Oh, hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy.
Yours doesn't seem to like you as much
I
as
know
mine
it
likes
doesn't.
me.
It doesn't like me. Swifty doesn't like me. That's okay. Wherever you're at, if you're hanging with friends at the bar, maybe you're doing all the sports stuff or just mostly sports stuff, call the shots. Cheers with ice cold Jägermeister. And remember to check Jägermeister out at Jägermeister.com. Drink responsibly. Jägermeister the core. 35% alcohol by volume, imported by Mass Jägermeister US, White Plains, New York. I don't know. This feels right.
You're wearing it almost like an accessory, like a
Right. It
brick
feels
watch.
comfortable.
There is a trend on TikTok where people have been holding their dogs like guns.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yes.
Holding their dogs like guns.
Yes. Pretend like they hold their back.
Oh
leg.
no, I've seen that, and they're
Yeah.
like they'll fire it at somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Aw.
Thank you, Paige.
Thank you, Paige.
We had a discussion prompted by Mark Titus right before we went on.
No.
No,
You're going to say some dumb shit.
no, it wasn't.
You're going to say I don't like dogs or something. Okay.
No,
go
I
on.
was gonna
Sorry.
say
Sorry,
you-
I got defensive there.
You threw out the idea of which Barstool employee would you let watch your dog for a week?
Oh, okay. All right.
And
You're right. I did do that.
I think the answer is Paige.
Sorry. I got.
You all right?
I got. I thought you were gonna go down some route where you're like saying, "Don't." I thought you were gonna say I don't like dogs in some way, and I was gonna get really fucking angry.
Do you like dogs? Because you're talking like somebody who might not like dogs. All right.
Yeah. Yep. I'm distracted, but that's a good distraction. I will welcome that distraction every single day. How do they hold dogs like guns? What does that look like?
Yeah. They would hold their back legs and
Okay.
like hold the other one across their like forearms.
Kinda
So
like
it's
I
they're
was.
holding like an LMG or
Like
something.
laser cats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, laser cat.
You know laser
Yeah,
cats?
laser cats. Yeah.
Andy Samberg?
Great.
Oh,
Laser
yeah.
cats?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to talk about, Brandon?
In the absence of NBA Finals, which starts tomorrow, Stanley Cup Finals, which starts Saturday, I have several smaller sports topics that I would like to cover. Number one is in Major League Baseball. I have a Major League Baseball question. Right now, the New York Yankees and the Philadelphia Phillies are battling for the best record in baseball. I don't know how real either of those starts are, but I assume they're both probably pretty real. But the Baltimore Orioles and their young core are doing exactly what you thought they would do. They're very, very good. They're second in their division only because the Yankees have been so great. But my question is this. Why did it never happen for the Blue Jays young core? And is it dead forever for them? Because it feels like we're now in the era of the Orioles young core, but it feels like the last young core were the Blue Jays, and it never quite worked out. What happened?
Top young cores in sports right
Yes.
this second.
Right this second. Orioles,
Oklahoma
Texans?
City Thunder,
Texans.
Thunder's up there though. The one seed. Orioles were the 1 seed though last year, right? The
Yeah.
best team in the American
Yeah.
League. Yeah.
I think Orioles. Yeah.
Thunder.
Are the New York Rangers young core? I feel like they're
I'm not
youngish.
familiar with hockey at all, so
So no, they're not. They got
Yeah.
Lafreniere, who's young, but I guess the others. Are.
everyone who plays hockey is either like 35 or 22 to me.
Mm-hmm.
And really, yeah, they all just seem like the same age.
You're right though. The Blue Jays.
That never quite
It's never
happened.
quite
It was
happened,
Vladdy Jr., it was Biggio Jr., it was Bichette Jr., and now Biggio's terrible. Vladdy doesn't hit home runs.
Yeah.
Bichette's not that good. And it feels like have the Royals young core passed them because they got Witt.
Yeah, the Royals have. He's like really just like a crazy centerpiece to have. I don't know if it's necessarily that they're very deep young core, but it's
You can't have Salvi Perez be that
Yeah.
integral to your team and be a young core team. I don't think.
Yeah, you're right. Is it just a matter of the Blue Jays were gonna break through, but then the Orioles young core was just better, so they passed them?
I really don't know what happened to the Blue Jays. I don't know if it's that they just had like unsustainable like skill sets. Like they swing at a lot of shit. Like they don't have great plate discipline in terms of like Bichette and Guerrero. They're hitters. Like when they were at their peak, they were hitting everything, balls out of the zone, and everything. And that it's a hard skill set to pan out over time if you're swinging the balls out of the zone and stuff and you're chasing a lot.
Yeah, that's what Senior Guerrero did though, and he had a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, I mean Vladdy's still very good. He's just not like the perennial home run leader that we thought he was going to be right now.
Mm-hmm.
When he came into the league at like 21 and had close to 50 homers.
The Blue Jays are last in that division.
Yeah.
They're the worst team in that division, and I don't think the Red Sox really had any great hopes this year. And the Rays are always pretty good.
Yeah.
And nobody thought the Yankees were going to be 42-19 or whatever they are at this. And
Yeah, no Garrett Cole either is the craziest part. Their
Yeah.
starting pitching has been unbelievable. Luis Heel, who pitched last night, only gave up 1 hit, might be the best pitcher that's ever pitched in the history of baseball.
Wow.
He's a
That's high
rookie.
praise.
He pitched against us. I'm
And
like, this guy's unhittable.
There's
He's
no
setting-
chance. There's no chance you're overstating that at all. Or?
No, there's zero hyperbole in my voice right now. He might be better than Greg Maddux.
He's setting franchise records every time he pitches. He's like the longest streak in a Yankee pitcher history.
What is-
to
Say something.
What is your answer right now for the best pitcher that's ever lived?
Sandy Koufax? I think
Sandy Koufax gave up a home run to a horse, dude. He gave up a home run to a horse.
Well, I
He's
guess-
the only pitcher in the history of baseball to give up a home run to a horse.
I guess I'll ask you a question. You think Mr. Ed ain't taking everybody else deep? You think he's not doing that to everybody? He would have terrorized the league. He's a goddamn
You
horse.
think Mr. Ed could hit R.A. Dickey's knuckleball?
I think he's going to have the patience. I think he's going to at least work the count.
Randy Johnson coming in, fucking throwing heat.
Yeah, Mariano Rivera's
from
breaking
that
his
arm.
bat.
And I also don't know that Sandy Koufax threw his best stuff that day. I think he was just kind of.
I did. I mean, we pointed out last time we played the clip that I never noticed that, but the manager of the Dodgers did say take a little bit off, Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
said something like that.
And does that hurt his legacy that he grooved it and didn't compete on the pitch?
Mr. Ed's legacy? Or?
No, Sandy Koufax that he didn't.
They
A
took it
real
easy on-
real competitor would have been like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Here's 95.
Mr. Ed's legacy is secured.
Well, no, because we haven't got the star yet.
That's a good point.
Also, his grave hasn't been grittied on yet. You're not a hero until your grave has been grittied on. That's what happened to John F. Kennedy.
Right.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Mm-hmm. As soon as they got grittied on, they became legends.
Over 2,000 signatures on the Mr. Ed petition.
Hell yes. They have to. So Congress has to now address it. Is that how that works?
I think so. I think Biden gets up there and eventually.
Holy shit! Hold on. Go back to Connor.
What?
Your face is so fucking red, dude.
Stop!
Face so
It's
red.
still so red.
I
'Cause it
was.
was like when you were sitting over here, it was
Yeah.
red, but now you're on the couch, and somehow you've got even redder.
No, this is the
That's-
best it's looked all week.
That's so red.
This is the best it's looked.
Yes.
It looks awful.
It looks so red, dude. I can't
TNT,
focus on anything
Jay.
else. Look at that. Look
He's
how
fucking with it.
Why do you look so red?
That's what it actually.
Quit fucking with it, dude.
I don't
No.
think he's fucking with it.
No, I think. Whoa, shit. Now we're back in Wizard of Oz before the
We
Technicolor.
should do a black and white.
No, I think this is the best I've looked all week, which still is not great. But
What a weird sentence.
I think this is the best I've looked all week.
Best pitcher, talent-wise, I think that I've seen DeGrom at his peak. DeGrom at his peak is best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I've watched in terms of regular season success is Clayton Kershaw. And when I go back and look at their stats, it's probably like Greg Maddux.
What about
Greg Maddux
I
blows my
think-
mind
I
every
think-
time I see it.
I think in my life it's probably peak Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro
And
Martinez. very
his
good,
peak
too.
didn't last as long as like other peaks, but peak Pedro was fucking.
You said Pete
Unbelievable.
Pedro, and for a half second I was like, who the fuck is
Peaky Pedro.
Oh.
I thought that
Yeah.
was a guy's name. I was like, I don't know.
It probably is.
I don't know peak Pedro.
In my life, the best
Yeah.
one is probably Maddox, but peak Pedro just seemed like the best one.
Yeah.
But I think Sandy, numbers wise, Sandy Koufax retired early.
Why doesn't baseball lend itself to GOAT debates like basketball does? Is it because it's not as one player doesn't dominate? Like basketball, there's a fundamental misunderstanding that one basketball player can single-handedly win a game for you. So if you don't win the game, then you're obviously not that good.
Yeah.
And so I think people argue over that. Is that what it is? That if you're great at baseball, you can still lose?
No, I
So it's
think
more of a team.
I think the basketball is just much more of an individual sport, and you can have a much bigger impact on your team and it's easy to make a GOAT case that way. Whereas in baseball, you can be the best hitter of all time. You get 1 out of every 9 at bats.
Yeah.
And baseball is also kind of beholden to numbers a little bit more than basketball. Like you can look at basketball. Like Michael Jordan's not the greatest scorer of all time based on the numbers, but he is the greatest scorer of all time.
Right.
Right. But baseball, you're beholden to, did he hit 500? Did he hit 600? Did he hit this? Did he hit that? Did he bat over 300 for his career? And I think it.
Yeah, baseball let the they let
It
the numbers
creates
sort
less
it out.
lanes
The
for
algorithm,
discussion.
yeah, no one wants to argue because you could just point to a stat and be like, "No, you're wrong," and here's the stat to prove it.
Exactly right.
Whereas basketball, I think people just like to reject the stats and they're like, "Fuck it, I know what I saw."
Yeah. I know what I saw.
I know what I saw.
I know what I'm watching these days, and
But
trust me,
basketball-
back in my day, it was way better.
Basketball is not an individual. It definitely is more than baseball. I'm not saying it's not, but basketball, like it's swung the other way, where it's like, I mean, we're about to see it now. If Luka Doncic wins the, if the Celtics, whoever wins Finals MVP might be declared the greatest player in the world.
I think it's the beauty of basketball. I think it's the most individual sport and the most team sport at the same time. Like it's like an individual can change a basketball team, but if that individual plays outside the framework of, like Michael Jordan is a great example. Michael Jordan was the best player in basketball long before he won a championship.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman,
Right.
not Dennis Rodman, but Horace Grant and the rest of them got going, and he played in the framework. He shot a lot less once he got those guys. He worked the ball around. He did team things more, and they started winning. So
do you think like Luka has not gotten? He's gotten a little bit better. Like his stats have gotten better. He's gotten more but he hasn't. He's kind of the same guy he's been.
Yeah.
It's the same player. He's good. If he wins a title, though, everyone's gonna be like, "Damn, he's the best player in the world." And I guess like the rational part of my brain is like that was the same. If he was the best player in the world now,
Yeah.
and he was the best player in the world 3 years ago,
But-
and maybe that is the case. Maybe that's the reality too. But it's just. Do you think Luka has gotten that much better, and that's why the Mavericks are in the
No, he
finals? Or
hasn't.
do you think the guys around him fit better around him?
So
And the same with the Celtics.
The function of he's the same player, and he's probably gotten a little bit better, but he's the same player. But the fact they built around his strengths and built a team
Yeah.
that he can now carry. He didn't have a team that he could carry before. They built a team around him that props him up for the individual greatness too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I find that interesting though that we baseball just like completely rejects all these premises. It just like I never.
But baseball's not built
I-
like that. Baseball's not built. Again, you get 1 out of every 9 at bats. You don't know when the ball's going to be hit to you in the field.
But you
Obviously,
can still identify greatness. You could still.
yeah.
You can still. I mean, we're doing it right now.
Well,
Like,
Mike
talking
Trout's
through our-
the greatest player of the generation, but he's not going to be in any GOAT debates because
We're
he's
talking
never
through.
played
We're talking
anything
through
that
the pitchers we think are the best pitchers we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And this doesn't happen naturally in everyday life for me.
No.
In fact, it doesn't. It like never comes up. I've never really given it any thought who I think the best pitcher of all time is, and that's weird. 'Cause I've seen a lot of pitchers, and I've had a lot of thoughts on them, and I've never once. Me and my buddies have never once like sat around and been like, "Who's the best pitcher of all time?"
Yeah, I've had those before, I think.
But you don't go position by position and be like, who's the greatest second baseman of all time, do you?
No.
And maybe that's
Not as
Baseball
much.
too, like
maybe that's a good thing.
there's
Maybe
too
we
many,
don't
like,
need to do
partitions
that.
in baseball.
Yeah.
I just find it fascinating that I asked Ebo who he thinks the greatest pitcher is, and he's like, "Fuck, I never really thought about it like that."
I make the argument for Clayton Kershaw because he is the stretch that he had for about 5 years there was special in like a very high run scoring environment, but also like I was maybe too young to appreciate Greg Maddux because I was like, why is
Greg
this guy
Maddux
not
was
throwing hard?
Yeah.
But you ask people who the best basketball player of all time, they won't just tell you who the GOAT is. They'll be like, here are my top 46. And I have them tiered. And I think if Jason Tatum if Jason Tatum can average a triple-double in these finals, I will move him from 44
Yeah.
to 41. And and they have it all fleshed out.
Whereas-
baseball, it's like, fuck, dude, I've never really thought about who the best hitter is of all time. I've never really thought about it. What are the is it Babe Ruth? Is it Barry? It's probably Barry Bonds, right? I don't know.
But there's a lot of little categories in baseball, right? I don't think there's as many little categories in basketball. You got best three-point shooter, best rebounder, best defender. Baseball,
Yeah.
you got best base stealer, best closer, best yada
leadoff
yada.
hitter.
Yeah, best leadoff hitter, best hit by pitch guy. Like, who has the most sacrifice flies of all time? It's Eddie Murray.
That was great.
That was fun. That was a fun game.
That was a fun trivia game.
Did you have it?
No.
It was Eddie Murray. Just say you had it. He played for the Orioles.
Yeah, he did play for the Orioles.
But yeah, and that all brings it back to it just hasn't happened for the Blue
Fuck it,
Jays.
let's do GOAT. I want to do GOAT stuff now with baseball.
We're doing GOAT stuff.
I want to
Should we
do
go
GOAT
around?
stuff.
Should we go
Yeah,
around
I
the-
want to.
I got to. By the way, I got to.
You really want to do GOAT stuff?
I don't know.
Cubs fan?
That's a low blow,
You
isn't
wanna
it?
do- he's the one that said he wanted to do GOAT stuff.
The GOAT's dead, dude.
By the way,
The GOAT.
hey,
2016.
did you watch that game? Cubs?
Yeah, crazy.
That Cubs game was
Bat
awesome
shit-
last night.
That shit insane.
That Cubs game was fucking awesome. I randomly tuned in. It was time to go to bed, so I put on something that'll bore me. I put it on at 5-1.
Yeah,
Morrell hits a bomb.
yeah,
2 batters later, Wisdom hits one in the basket.
yeah.
And that game was incredible. Robert hits one. Luis Robert hit one 800 feet.
Yep.
Then Gavin Sheets made a great catch. Then I fell asleep. The Cubs took the lead, and the Cubs won.
Yeah.
How did they take the lead, by the way? Because I did. Oh, no, it was Hap hit a double. Didn't
Hap hit a yeah, Hap,
that's right.
Ian Happ's cousin was apparently on the softball team we played last night.
Did you guys
Yeah.
win or lose?
Oh, the Pugs got smoked last night.
It sounds like the Pugs' early season momentum is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might be bad. We might be
Yeah.
bad. All the teams that know how to play softball are smoking us.
So
The Pugs are the Phillies of the softball league, where they had a
We didn't
very
play
easy
nobody.
We had a
schedule to
very-
start
We
the
ain't play nobody's ball,
season.
yeah.
You start feeling yourself. You're like, are we the best team ever?
Yep.
And then reality is going to come for you when you actually have to play a decent.
It came crashing down.
Shout out Malasek last night, though. He's
Play the
been our
game.
worst player all season. Grounded into a double play in softball last
This
night.
is a shout out that you're doing right
Yeah,
now?
I'm
That's
reversed it last night. Reversed it last night. Got player of the game 2 for 2.
Oh, all
That's
right.
how you know it was a bad game. It's player of the game.
No,
It does make me very sad whenever I see the final score graphic and you guys came up on the losing end. I see that on Twitter. I'm like, oh, fuck.
how are you not on
Boys
the
didn't
team?
get it done. I don't know. I wasn't asked.
I
Which is
can't-
fine. I got my volleyball league.
I gotta be honest. I can't focus on anything else. He's just,
Because red
he's
face.
just so red.
You want me to go get the paper bag
You
again?
can hear him when he talks.
I'll get the paper
Why are you
bag.
why are you so red?
Because I was at brunch on Sunday. We've been over this.
How long was brunch? 12 hours?
No, it was like an hour and 15.
All right.
Doesn't take much. And people were saying that, like,
You're red.
yes, but they're also saying that I'm not built for it now.
Oh, you're not built
shit.
for it. Okay. Okay.
Which
Oh my god.
is that a true statement?
I was able to withstand. Like, I was having a totally normal time at the brunch. I was totally comfortable, but
Yeah.
I knew in the back of my head, like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be red as fuck.
Yeah.
I wasn't having to go, like, immediately find cover underneath a tree or something like that. Like, I was good.
Oh shit.
So you're not
making
built-
this a Brandon Walker thing now.
No. There's a difference.
He's
Don't
coming-
lash out
he's
at me
coming
because
at
you're not
you.
built for it.
Oh, shit.
No, I am built for it because I was there and totally normal and
Cody, can we
comfortable
get
and
a Connor Griffin not built for it graphic made, please? If that could be out by the end of the show, I'd appreciate that. Yes, Connor?
No, I burn. But at the same time, I can still be built for it.
What do you think about all
I mean, we don't build houses that can just easily burn.
Yeah.
There are building codes.
I guess so.
Yeah. What do you think about all the comments from yesterday that were I saw a lot of people talking about your red face as
Yeah.
they should have.
Yes.
There were people that
All
were like
those
the show is
comments.
better when Connor is in Brandon's seat.
Yeah.
And it just flows better and
What'd you-
and I'm just relaying the. I'm asking Connor what he thinks about that.
What comments?
I agree with 50% of those comments. I won't let you know which 50% it is.
I just found it interesting. That seemed to be what people were saying yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I love you having you back. The show's so
Been
much better
nice.
with you here.
Yeah.
I
We had puppies.
I was,
Did y'all have puppies?
I was curious
No.
what Connor thought about.
No.
Uh,
I'm glad to have you back, Brandon. I missed you.
Gay.
did you hear that a homeless man?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have so White Sox Dave's coming in at 10:30. So
Are we sure?
are we sure he's coming, or are we sure we need to do this?
I don't know. Both.
He is coming. I'm not sure we need to do this. I'm going.
We'll do it.
Nobody can raise their voice. Nobody can raise their voice. I'm going to call this segment
Yeah.
"Healthy Debate."
Okay.
And nobody can raise their voice. We're going to have a healthy
We're
debate.
gonna have
That's a good
Yeah.
name for a show.
We're going to have a healthy debate, and nobody. And I will rule with an iron fist. If you raise your voice, I ask you to stop.
You're moderating the debate.
I'm moderating
So
the
it's
debate.
me versus Dave.
Yeah, but I'm also on your side. But I'm moderating the debate.
Okay.
But I'm on your side.
Okay. I can do that.
Very quickly before he gets in here, there's several sports topics I want to hit, right? So College Football Hall of Fame ballot went out. And before yesterday, I had never realized that the College Football Hall of Fame is irreparably and stupidly broken. To be in the College Football Hall of Fame, you have to have been a first-team All-American.
Yeah.
That means guys like Trevor Lawrence, who never made first-team All-American, just can't be in the Hall of Fame. You have to have a 60% winning percentage, which means Mike Leach can't get in, okay? I never knew – Nick Saban's on the ballot, Urban Meyer's on the ballot, Aaron Donald's on the ballot for the first time this year. They're all going to get in. They put in 12 guys a year, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the list of guys that are not in the College Football Hall of Fame?
I've not seen the full list, but
This
That are
is
not in
Trevor
the Hall of
Lawrence.
Fame or that are like should be on the ballot.
They're on the ballot, but they're just not in the Hall of Fame yet. And I'm
Oh.
sure there's others. I'm only going off the ballot this year. 77 players and coaches on the ballot. No, 77 players on the ballot, like 15 coaches on the ballot. Anyway, I'm going to name some names. And these
that.
guys are not in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Heisman Trophy winner Mark Ingram is not in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Well, that's going to change.
Kellen Moore, the all-time winningest by percentage quarterback in college football history, not in the Hall of Fame. Peter Warwick, Ken Dorsey,
Oh,
Graham Harrell,
That's insane. That's insane.
Monty Ball, Kenyon Barner, Alex Brown, Kijana Carter from Penn State, Marshawn Lynch, Sean Taylor. None of these players, they're all on the ballot right now. They can't all get in. I don't understand. College football has 134 teams playing every year with 100 guys or 85 guys per roster. Why are they insisting on keeping a small Hall of Fame? This should be all of these guys should be in the Hall of Fame. This is crazy. It's broken, and we need to take over the College Football Hall of Fame and fix it.
I love this.
And I know what your rule for Hall of Fame is. If I've heard of him,
If I've heard
he
of
probably deserves to be in.
Who's the Oregon running back that I had the blind spot on?
Kenyon Barner.
Yeah, Kenyon Barner's unfortunately not in the Hall of Fame.
He's not.
No.
He had a
No, because Michael James and
It was a burner.
Anthony Thomas.
Anthony Thomas. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday that
But I bet neither of those guys are in.
they like overshadowed him that I just forgot he existed. So unfortunately,
So y'all did talk about this yesterday.
no, we went through the ballot and I cast my ballot.
Okay.
Graham
Harrell, in what world should he not be a College Football Hall of Famer already?
DK Metcalf's dad's penis is going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we're
So
giving DK Metcalf's dad's penis a bust in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his penis is gonna bust in the Hall of Fame.
Graham Harrell should be in.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It is insane. It's a sport that is supposed to be very broad and there's supposed to be
It's the biggest sport.
and depth to it.
Yeah.
There's like so many fucking players.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
So much history.
Yeah.
And
if you only wanted to care about one sliver of college football, you could, because there's so much, but then there's like 1,000 slivers out there. And it's just like it goes on forever. And then they somehow only just hyper focus on a handful of players. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And frankly, I don't know if you've ever been there, but the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta is one of the more disappointing buildings I've ever been in. You walk in, they got the wall of helmets, and you think, oh, my God, I'm in the Mecca. I'm in the greatest place ever. You walk past that room, and there's just nothing.
There's a question. Does the College Football Hall of Fame just suck in general? All of it suck and just burn it to the ground? We don't need this at all.
No, we
sounds
have to
like
have
a-
a Hall of Fame because there's got to be something to talk about.
If the building sucks, if the selection process sucks, if the
we got to have something to talk about in June and July. We gotta have. Yeah.
Could we do a Hall of Fame show where we each bring? I don't know if it would be confined to one sport, but we each bring a list of names.
Oh, that's what I think you might be right. Why do we confine it to sports? Let's just do a Hall of Fame for everything.
We've done this. Did we do the Hall of Fame? Hall of Fame? What did we do before?
I don't know. He's just so red. I got confused.
No, but
Just a Hall of Fame of shit. Just like anything in the world. Is that what you're saying? So you're putting like Peter Warwick and the Edmonton Boobs and
Right beside the Spirit of St. Louis.
Spirit of St. Louis and
Right beside jazz music.
and Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. All right.
all of it's in my Hall.
You brought it up. I think it needs to be said. I think when it comes to boobs at a game, that the Edmonton Boobs are the greatest of all time.
That's what I said.
I think
that's
it's the
what
GOAT.
I said.
I think this is the
I didn't
GOAT.
want to be recency biased or too.
I
thought that was the
thought
GOAT.
about it.
That was the GOAT flashing that's ever happened.
This is the GOAT. This is the greatest flashing of all time that's happened at a sporting event. And I realized I don't even think it happened at a game. I think she was at a watch party.
Oh, really?
That game was in Dallas, and she was watching in Edmonton.
Other than that,
it does line up.
That kind of
I don't care. I think
at a game.
I think it's the GOAT. I think it's the greatest flashing we've ever had at a sporting event, and I don't think there's a close second. I remember the World Series boobs from a couple years ago. That was a plant, and this is the greatest. This is the greatest of all time, and it needs to be respected. And you know how when you retire, you get 5 years, and then you go in the Hall of Fame, you get on the ballot? No.
Front of the line.
Front of the line, straight to the Hall of Fame.
Straight to the Hall of Fame.
Just unbelievable, perfect. Everything about it is the greatest of all time.
Put those boobs on a motorboat and get them.
Get them straight up there. What are you doing?
This is the problem with.
Why
doing
is he
this.
just
Is like,
standing
This is the
there?
problem with doing this. Is like we were talking.
We're talking
We could have
boobs.
talked about boobs for
But I bet he can talk about boobs.
days, but he's not going to. He's going to talk about some
Yeah.
dumb shit, and here we go.
We can discuss boobs all day long if you'd like.
Did you have a fresh shave? I noticed your beard doesn't go up to your eyebrows.
You can play the hits early if you'd like.
I'm going to.
I'm dumb.
I didn't say that.
There we go. All right, let's get that quote card, and
Go ahead.
we can move
my
on.
Beard, my height.
Nobody's talked about your height, although
Eh,
you did make us look good in that
Yeah,
clip
I did.
yesterday.
Yeah, it's fine. You can roast away. It's all good.
We didn't.
How are
see
we
it.
doing today?
We're fine.
What
Hey,
is going on right now?
drop your defenses. Just drop it. Drop your defenses.
I'm chill.
Drop your guard.
Woosa.
Oh, bring your guard back up. That was I didn't
Okay,
like that. Okay.
Set the stage, Brandon.
So White Sox Dave is here because yesterday I turned the corner and the debate was already raging. It was White Sox Dave and Mark Titus.
no, whoa,
No,
wait a
no,
second.
no.
No, it wasn't.
It was
you.
between you and me.
I turned the corner. and you
Yeah,
guys were
that
going
is
at each
actually how it went.
100% no. No. I walked in.
Okay. Let me.
You guys
let me
talk-
explain to you what happened. You've been gone for a while. The office yesterday was going crazy about rom-coms. I don't know how or why. It originally my introduction was in the Gambling Cave. They were talking about Wedding Crashers being a rom-com, and it's obviously not. It's like that's laughable that you would consider that a rom-com. It's a comedy. It's just a straight up comedy.
Yeah.
Everyone else was yelling at me saying I was wrong, and I was like, "This is crazy. What's going on here?" And then that like spiraled into like bigger discussions about, and then I started throwing out all other movies as you did. You know, you're like, so what is American Pie? Wrong? I was like, Anchorman. And then somewhere along the line, White Sox Dave was like, "There's something about Mary."
Okay.
And then I was like, also not a rom-com.
Yes.
And then that happened.
I'll speak when I'm pointed to just to keep
You're being
it,
pointed at
okay?
right now.
So Mook had his top 10 list, I believe. He tweeted it out 2 nights ago and said, "Here's my top 10 rom-coms," something along that line. I was in Europe last week. I watched Something About Mary on the flight out there. We all agree it's a fantastic movie, I'm sure. And I'm like, no top 10 list for rom-coms is complete without watching Something About Mary.
Mm-hmm.
He responds and says, "I'll watch it tonight." He didn't watch it that night. He came to the office the next morning. I assumed you watched it. He goes, "No, I'm actually watching it tonight." I'm like, "It's one of the all-time great rom-coms." Brandon overheard me, and he's like, "It's not a rom-com."
It wasn't me. It was him. I really did walk into this. You
That
guys
is-
were talking about it before I got there.
You,
No, you
Brandon,
weren't, dude.
you were the first person.
That's
I
not true.
Yes, it
That is 100.
absolutely
What are you
is.
doing here? Why are
This
you
is not
derailing
true.
this whole
We
thing?
can
That's
get
exactly what
Mook-
happened. We
we
can pull the tapes.
We can
What are you
get Mook
talking about?
over here, and he will corroborate every
You know
ounce
what,
of it.
Dave? I don't even want to argue about whether it's a rom-com. I just want to yell at Brandon for like
All right.
splitting hairs.
Let's set
over
up this argument. So, We're about to have a debate.
Yes.
You against Mark Titus.
Yes.
No one. This is called healthy debate.
Mm-hmm.
No one is allowed to raise their voice.
Yes.
No one is allowed to point fingers.
Mm-hmm.
No one is allowed to hurl insults.
Okay.
The second you do that, I will rule with an iron fist.
Gone. I love that. I love that.
Mark Titus, do you agree?
Yeah, I guess. I okay.
White Sox Dave.
Yep.
Your opening argument.
I would prefer to hear his first.
It's
Because I think I can end this in 10 seconds. I really think I can end this
that's
argument.
a straw. Then end it in
Okay.
10 seconds and get the hell out of here.
You said it's a comedy, and then you just started yelling a lot. I never one time said it is not a comedy. Of course, Something About Mary is a comedy. That doesn't, there's offshoots of separate comedies. The entire plot from start to finish is him trying to win and court a woman, and they fall in love at the end. Of course it's a comedy. It's a romantic comedy.
All right.
It is start to finish romance.
Yeah.
Every ounce of the plot is romance, and it's
What's your favorite romantic part
What's
when
the
he
romantic
when he
Every-
flips his balls up?
jizzes in her-
that's
when he
exactly the
jizzes
genius
in
of that.
her-
That's the genius
in
of
her
that
hair.
movie. They push boundaries. They go over the edge. It's not the typical rom-com.
Mark Titus.
I'm
It's
not-
not. What'd you say?
It's not the typical rom-com where it's just like cheesy fucking. It's
There's a
raunchy.
difference between
Mark Titus.
There's a difference
I'm
between a rom.
not finished.
How much time do you
said,
get?
You said you could make your point in 10 seconds.
I need longer than that. I was embellishing for dramatic effect. Start to finish, all the shit he does, picking up the hitchhiker because he wants someone to vent to. Every single thing about it, it's him being a complete idiot, but it's all out of good-heartedness. He's a good man. Everything, he sent a stalker after her. That's the funny part about it. You guys don't get it. Everything about that movie is romantic. Maybe we're just arguing you don't find it romantic. I found that movie romantic. In the last scene when they're doing the dancing to Build Me Up Buttercup, yeah, that's like close enough. That almost brought a tear in my eye. I love that movie, and it is romance at its absolute best. And in
All right.
fact, I would say maybe you could argue that's the all-time best rom-com ever.
All right. Mark Titus.
What are you doing here?
I'm giving you.
Why are you? What's going on? I reject this whole premise.
I was setting up the debate between you and him
Why?
because you're
It was
more
your
calm than
debate.
me.
I walked in on.
You're more
walked in
calm
on
than
you
me.
guys arguing, and now why are you?
It was.
And
You're more calm than me.
You're the one that on Twitter said, "Dave, come into Mostly Sports and let's argue about it tomorrow."
And then I said-
and then
Yeah,
now
and
you
he
said,
set up the parameters.
Yeah, look at the tweet. I said
Yeah.
to Dave tomorrow, you against Mark Titus.
Yes.
That's what I said. You're wasting your.
"You said that?
Yeah, you're
He
wasting
did.
your time
He did.
When did you say that?"
on Twitter last night.
I reject this whole thing.
Yeah.
I thought this was. I came in here prepared for you two fucking.
Would you like me to
morons
step in?
I came.
Now, if you want to use Anchorman or Toy Story or other,
Would you like me to step
You
in?
know those are
I saw Mostly
disingenuous-
Sports tomorrow, Dave. I invite you for a healthy debate. How can you invite me? I will debate this. I'm just like shook by Brandon's setup here. Like I don't know what he's doing. I don't like what.
Okay,
Brandon's doing.
I'm stepping in. All right, Dave.
yeah,
No.
Brandon.
I will step in. I just
What was the last 3 minutes?
because I don't.
This coffee clutching's
because
ridiculous.
It's your bullshit.
Somebody needs to argue with it. Go.
There's a difference between a rom-com and a movie that is obviously.
Your voice is a little high. Your voice is a little high. I set rules. I set rules that your voice. I said you couldn't raise your voice.
all rom-coms.
I come in here thinking I have a teammate.
all rom-coms
I-
are.
You stop talking. You stop talking.
Okay.
Calmly go forward.
This is the worst thing we've ever done on this show.
Calmly go forward.
There's a difference, Dave, between a rom-com and a movie that is very obviously a comedy that is meant to
All rom-coms are
Okay,
comedies. All rom-coms are comedies. Every single rom-com is a comedy.
Dave.
Not all comedies are rom-coms. Every single rom-com is a comedy. I'm not arguing with you that it is a comedy. It is absolutely,
Dave wins.
without
Dave,
question.
Dave wins.
Dave, listen to me. In a rom-com, I believe one of the core tenets of a rom-com is at some point the movie becomes about the pursuit of a relationship and about the two. The audience member has to be on board. Like, my God, this movie has to end with these two getting together. It has to end with these two, this relationship. At no point in there something about Mary, do you actually care about their relationship? That relationship is used as a guide to do all the gags and the funny parts, the Frankenbeans, everything that they do, the cum in the ear, all of that. It's like Anchorman that has a love story kind of written into it, but it's not really central.
A comedy with a love story is not inherently.
It's a comedy that has two people that get together at the end, but it's not like When Harry Met Sally, where the entire thing is hinged upon this relationship and built up, and you have to have that moment at the end. If in there's something about Mary, it ends without that moment, that movie doesn't change one scintilla, one iota. It doesn't change at all.
Okay, at this point, this is like the dress with like someone sees it gold.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
This is like me being right and you being wrong.
This is absolutely not
This
black.
is what
and
I
white.
wanted, but this is what I wanted the whole time.
Well, good. I'm in it now.
I could not disagree more. If that movie doesn't end with them kissing and her ditching Brett Favre, that ruins
that movie doesn't change a bit. It doesn't change a bit.
Absolutely does. And yes, they use comedy as a conduit to bring out all those gags like the zipper thing and the hitchhiker that kills guys and he slams his head while he's getting interrogated. Of course, like the love story is the entire.
No, it's not.
It's the core of that movie.
That is a raunchy comedy.
It's a raunchy comedy.
That is a raunchy comedy that has a relationship in it.
That
is not a rom-com.
That is subjective.
Here's my final
that
point.
Is absolutely
here's my final
subjective.
point.
We will never agree that
a rom-com is aimed more at women. And a raunchy comedy is aimed more towards men. And There's Something About Mary is aimed straight at us.
That's absolutely not true. That is absolutely not true. Cameron Diaz is on the cover of that movie. What are you talking about?
Cameron,
it's aimed at men.
women love.
She plays Mary.
It's
Cameron
down to
Diaz. Women love Cameron Diaz. Men can't stand her.
Right.
Hate looking at her. Hate the idea of.
You are
watching
arguing in
that-
such bad faith right now.
Is-
You are grasping at so
I don't
many
think-
different
Listen to me.
What are you talking about?
Is Anchorman a love story?
What are you talking
Is it a
about?
rom-com?
We're
I told
not.
you
We're
I
saying
haven't seen
it's-
Anchorman.
If you ask the Fairley Brothers, would you rather people when they watch There's Something About Mary laugh or cry? What do you think they're going to answer?
I think it would be a nuanced discussion.
There's nothing nuanced about There's Something About Mary.
And you know what? I actually considered this just a few minutes ago. I wish I would have thought about it earlier. I want to pay for a cameo from like Cameron. I don't know if they have it, like Cameron Diaz or Ben Stiller or the Fairley Brothers or something. And just flat out pay them to answer the question.
Okay, do that.
You want to pay them to say what you want them to say.
No, if I'm wrong, if they say no, this is just a straight up comedy, I would have to it would still wouldn't make sense to me because in my mind, all rom-coms are comedies. Not all comedies are rom-coms.
Anchorman, Wedding Crashers.
That is a stupid, disingenuous
How is that
argument
disingenuous?
in bad faith.
Wait,
How is that
I'm
disingenuous?
simply naming examples of a like movie.
You're saying Dumb and Dumber? Sure, you can whittle it down to like the bare bones of the plot, and it's a
That's
guy
what you're
chasing-
doing?
That's the exact. That's
what
Dumb
you're
and Dumber.
doing.
Dumb and Dumber is the example.
That's a stupid. I'm not having this argument. That is so
Well, then
disingenuous.
we win. We win.
That's so
Then we win.
disingenuous. No,
How is it disingenuous?
Time
The
out.
entire plot.
Time out.
the entire
Time out.
plot-
Time out.
Time out. I'm taking a NASCAR timeout.
Take the NASCAR timeout. Take the NASCAR timeout.
Taking a timeout.
Take the NASCAR timeout.
Taking the NASCAR timeout.
We almost raised our voices there. Thank God. Thank God we didn't.
NASCAR's coming to Chicago this summer. They've got 2 days full of racing and nonstop entertainment. 4th of July weekend, NASCAR racing through downtown Chicago in the iconic Grant Park. It's an entertainment-filled weekend with your favorite artists featuring Keith Urban, the Chainsmokers, the Black Keys, Laura and Elena. The 2024 Chicago Street Race will be the most talked-about event of the summer. Don't miss out on the thrill of NASCAR racing through the iconic streets of downtown Chicago. Purchase your tickets today for NASCAR's Chicago Street Race Weekend. That's been our NASCAR timeout.
Dave, the entire plot of Dumb and Dumber hinges on a man trying to win the
No,
love of a
it
woman.
absolutely doesn't. That's not the entire plot.
That
of
is
Dumb and Dumber.
literally the entire plot of the
it's-
movie. He
so
falls
is-
in love with
so
Mary
is it a-
Swanson.
He chases her across the country,
He
Dave.
across the country to win the love of Mary Swanson.
Is it a crime
He
thriller
chases her across
because
the country.
Hitman's after him?
No, it's a comedy.
I'm not talking about Dumb and Dumber. That's
Yes, you're talking
stupid.
about There's
we're-
Something
we're
About
saying if
Mary.
I will not chase that ball. I know what you guys are doing. It's
We're
arguing
saying
in
we're
bad
saying-
faith.
We're not arguing
You
in bad
guys are
faith. We're holding
arguing
up a
in bad
mirror.
faith.
We're
Dave,
holding up a mirror
no,
to
you
yourself
are
to show you how
absolutely-
ugly you are.
Dave, listen to me.
We're showing you how stupid you are by
Dave,
holding up a mirror.
Dumb and Dumber is a comedy aimed.
Personal insults.
Okay. Dumb and Dumber is a comedy aimed at us dudes, just with the most goofy shit for an hour and 20 minutes, and it's incredible.
Absolutely.
It's great. Anchorman is the exact same way.
Absolutely.
It's so quotable. And guess what other movie is the exact same way?
Not
There's
something about Mary.
Mary.
It is so that is
a comedy.
I said it's a comedy. Of
It
course
doesn't
it's a
fall in the category of comedy that you want to put it in.
What is there you're acting like the romance between the two is just a minor little detail in the movie.
You're acting like
I'm not done yet.
Okay,
From
sorry.
start to finish.
You raised
I
your
would hate
voice a
to-
little bit right there. You
I would
raised your
need to
voice
cut
from
Dave
start to
off.
finish.
Bring it down a little bit more.
From start to finish. in
One
the
more
movie.
notch.
From start to finish in the movie, he starts in high school. It's all the things like that were out of the goodness of his heart that just went catastrophically wrong. From the zipper to the picking up the hitchhiker to
Coming on his ear.
coming on
his
like
ear
every
and
that. Of course, all of that stuff
balls
is
in the-
hysterically funny. Hysterically funny, but at its core, all those good things that he was trying to do that went horribly wrong, he still won the girl in the end. And it's a great story. The little nerdy kid from high school beat out Brett Favre for a woman's affection, the girl of his dreams. How is that not
Let
romantic?
me ask you a question.
How is that not romantic?
I'll ask you a question. If he does not get the girl in the end, if instead she
arguing
takes out a pie,
hypothetical.
I'm asking a question. If she takes out a pie and throws it in his face, do you think the movie has changed, or do you think that is still a classic comedy movie?
I'm not going to argue hypotheticals.
Yeah,
here
we
because
can't.
that's
You have
not how
to. You
the
have to
movie
argue
went.
exactly what he's arguing, or else it's in bad
No,
faith.
I am arguing exactly
to
what the
be-
movie is.
You have to.
So
what
again,
happened
when
in
we
the
bring
end-
examples in here, that's when
That's
you say
not an
bad
example.
faith.
You're arguing a hypothetical that didn't happen. I'm telling you what happened.
But when we
In the start of the movie, he was in high school. He lands that prom date, and nobody believed him. He had to.
we
bet-
know the movie.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
know.
have to tell us the movie.
And you're acting as if all of that stuff that spanned the entire
Yes.
movie, and it's in the title. There's something about Mary. There's something about her. How can you say that is not a romance?
So if a woman's
Because
name is
there's
in
a-
the title, it's definitely
There's a difference between a rom-com and a movie that is funny that has a romantic arc in
But
the movie. You
it's
understand that? It's
the
the tone of the movie.
entirety
It's the tone of the movie, which is exactly what Dumb and Dumber is.
That's absolutely not. He was running from those two guys.
No, he
entirety of
wasn't.
the
He
movie,
was
doing
running
all the
to Mary
slap
Swanson.
So here, I think I got a good way to determine a
Mary Swanson
rom-com.
she didn't share the lead with Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey.
Let's
in that
say
With
I got
White
an
hair.
example
That movie doesn't
here.
work if he doesn't fall in love with Mary Swanson. It falls
and
apart.
in the end,
He comes home and he goes
down the road and he sees all the honeys in
Here's
the
my example. A rom-com to me,
love story.
a rom-com to me has to have a moment where you're in the theater with your best gal, and you're holding her hand, and then something happens on screen, and you both kind of look at each other like that. So me and Mark were gay, right? Me and Mark were gay lovers, okay? And we went to the theater to see There's Something About Mary. Did we ever have the hand-holding, eye contact moment? I don't think we do.
No, of course you don't. No.
What? No, I would never look longingly into his eyes during something.
A rom-com you're supposed to be.
You've got mail, sure.
Okay, I think I figured it out then. We have different tastes in what is romantic.
We're right,
to us.
and you're.
No, you have
What is
different-
romantic about There's Something About Mary?
I just the nerdy high school kid lands the dream girl. What is not romantic? Like you didn't have those. Every one of us have. If we want to get real, you had girls that were out of your league, as did you, as have I. That would have been a great fucking story, a great win, right, for the good guy. That is complete.
So
romantic.
you just described an underdog story, not really a
Yeah,
romantic
it's
story.
an underdog. It's an
he
underdog
lands
comedy.
the girl
So
and
I agree
she
with
goes
Dave. It is
for
an
him.
underdog comedy. It's an underdog comedy.
Like you guys are and you're arguing exceptions to like it's
We're
great. I thought
arguing.
you-
We're
I
arguing
thought-
examples
I
that
thought
prove.
you guys were sincerely trolling me yesterday. Of course, it's a comedy.
It's not. It's a
All
comedy.
How can you somebody
rom-coms-
sincerely troll?
all because it's and you got like and after having these conversations because I was just like pigeonholed it. That's a rom-com, okay? But like I'm trying to think about it at this from 30,000 feet and trying to see nuance, believe it or not, instead of just stopping my feet down. 1 second, and like sure there's like arguments, other like wedding, like I see all that. However, the entire plot. Like it is a romance, and of course, like I said, every rom-com's a comedy, but that doesn't necessarily mean every comedy is a rom-com. I don't understand how you guys are just brushing aside the entirety of the plot.
I'm gonna write
Because you've established that the plot doesn't actually matter because we've given you other examples where romance is at
You
the
guys-
forefront of the
and I
plot,
think
and,
those are-
you'd reject
those
those
are-
because those don't
those-
help your argument.
Dave.
We're saying the tone is definitively different, and there's something about Mary versus say like You've Got Mail versus say Notting Hill versus say all the classic versus When Harry Met Sally, which are all the classic examples of a rom-com. The tone is definitively different. It is so obviously different, and the tone is different for a reason. The tone is different because the intent of There's Something About Mary is not to make you cry and not to make you feel emotions and not to make you think I have a wave of romantic feelings coming over my body, and yet in spite of all these romantic feelings, in spite of the emotions that I'm feeling, I'm going to crack a smile at these moments throughout the movie that provide comedic relief. The point of There's Something About Mary, you should be bellyache laughing the entire movie. That is the ultimate primary objective of the movie. Then they sprinkle in a love story.
It's not sprinkled
Then they
in.
sprinkle in the love story to make you feel some things every so often.
See,
it is
Dave,
completely flipped.
I've-
It is a com-rom, if anything, which it actually is a com-rom. It is not a
And
rom-com.
if you want to like meet at that middle, fine. I've never described a movie as a com-rom, but if that's the middle you would like to meet at, fine, okay, because it is hysterical. I think we all agree there, right? It's a hysterically funny movie. Right?
I gotta stop.
I've actually never seen it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
So there's that.
I've never seen There's Something About Mary.
Stop it.
I haven't. I've never seen the movie. I just saw you guys arguing yesterday, and I just want to get involved. I've never seen it once. I know like the plot points or whatever, but I've never seen.
I think it was on one time when I was at somebody's house.
Yeah, I haven't. I didn't.
Are you fucking with me, Ted?
No, I have. I've never. I've seen clips. I know the cum and the hair or whatever. And
That's
I
funny.
Know, the balls and the zipper.
Yeah.
Brett Favre.
Frank and Beans.
I've never
Yeah,
seen. I've never seen the
Warren's
movie.
great.
I saw you guys arguing. I just want to get in the mix.
Okay. You win. Can we address the poll that was put out there? I thought that
No,
was
'cause-
healthy enough
No.
sample size of people.
I got a list
60.
of 6 movies here.
Uh-huh.
I want you to tell me which category this
If
this
a
movie
lot of
falls
them
in.
have already been stated, I
You've
haven't
Got
seen-
Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally. The other one is Dumb and Dumber, Anchorman, 40-Year-Old Virgin. What list would you put There's Something About Mary in?
I haven't seen the first 3. Not 1 second. I know Tom Hanks Sleepless in Seattle. I have not
Wait,
seen
is
one.
this the problem? You haven't actually
hasn't
seen
seen
a
a
rom-com?
I
real
have
rom-com.
seen.
You haven't seen a real
He hasn't seen a
rom-com.
real rom-com. That's what it is.
Can I name all the rom-coms?
Sure.
If you
Name
haven't
some
seen
more rom-coms.
You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally. You've never seen any
No.
of them. Failure to Launch.
No.
What are the top rom-coms?
Sticking with McConaughey, How to Lose
Yeah,
a Guy.
How to
in
Lose
10
a
Days.
How to Lose a Guy.
Of course.
How
yeah.
does it
What, how is that? And of course, and the other ones are not.
I've seen that movie. That's of course a rom com. I was gonna say that 10 Things I Hate About You.
Notting Hill.
Have not seen Notting Hill.
What is Hugh? You pull up
But, like-
Grant's filmography.
Yeah, exactly. Or early McConaughey.
2 weeks notice.
Can you go back to Mook's list, please?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, yeah. I think half of these aren't.
I disagree with you.
All right. So, Crazy Stupid Love is a romantic comedy. I've never seen This Is 40. I Love You, Man is just not.
And
That's
but,
a bromance. That's just not.
I actually would kind of disagree. I've only seen that once, like when
That's a
it
very
came
good
out.
movie. That's a very good movie.
And like another thing, I noticed that Titus didn't address. You're like, oh, you're using this screenshot that says romance / or comedy / romance.
Yeah.
If you Google any one of those movies, it's the same thing. That's just how they do it on whatever
Oh.
website that was.
But it says it on the internet. Also, lower your voice a little bit, Dave. It's a little.
You're right.
It's a little loud.
Sorry, I'm yelling.
I'm gonna say Titus won.
Yeah,
You're wrong.
I did win. I agree.
You
I agree. I'm taking the 30,000 foot
Titus,
view as
Titus,
as
what-
Dave said.
What?
I'm really looking at this objectively. I think I won. Yeah.
It's a comedy, correct?
Yeah, of course.
What
it's
kind of comedy?
It's a slapstick comedy.
It's not.
It is.
goofball-
It's
a
a
goofball
screwball
slapstick
comedy.
Screwball comedy.
It's
Classic
A
Fairley
gross out
Brothers.
comedy.
It's like every other movie the Fairley Brothers make. They're trying
It's
to.
not. It's the Fairley Brothers can't go outside their typical comfort zone.
No, they can't. That's like famously
like
what
their
they
first
do. That's
big-
like what they do.
But,
That's
but they
how
did. They went outside it with a rom-com called Something About Mary, and it was
You
incredible.
think that's outside their comfort zone?
that
How is that outside their comfort
doing
zone?
a romance? Yes,
But it's not.
Yes,
It's the exact same.
You're
Yes.
so goddamn stupid. You're so goddamn stupid.
yes.
You're so goddamn
The
stupid.
It's
exact
a
same
rom-com.
movie they make. They make that.
That is their wheelhouse. That's
their
what
wheelhouse.
they make.
They make the same movie every time they make a movie. It's
That's
just
what-
they pick
how
a
could
different
you
story.
possibly
This time,
It's just and they
this
just-
time, the central theme of the movie was romance.
Okay, so if you're going with that argument, your whole argument falls apart when you don't also say 4-Year-Old Virgin is a rom-com.
I think it is.
Or
I
fucking
think it
Anchorman is a rom-com,
I-
or Dumb and Dumber is a rom-com,
I
which
don't-
none of those are.
You are
Super,
like
it's
I
super
said,
bad a rom-com.
Dumb
It's
and Dumber
Ace
is
Ventura.
such a fucking stupid.
Why are you
argument.
so fired up about that one? That one's
Because-
so obviously a
because-
rom-com if there's something about Mary.
Who
is.
made Dumb and Dumber?
The Fairley Brothers?
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Guess-
You know what? That's probably why I feel like it's so similar.
It's,
probably why I
you're
figured-
arguing in bad faith.
How is it
You
bad
know
faith?
it.
It's
Why
a
do you
very-
keep saying bad
No,
faith?
just
Somebody
because
told you
you
the
say
phrase
bad
bad faith?
No one told me the
You're doing a
phrase-
straw man argument. is what
No,
you're
I'm
doing.
not.
It's a straw man.
I am
It's a
sticking to Something About Mary. It is a love story that is hysterically funny. If it wasn't as funny as it was,
How is a man
Would it be
wanting to win the
considered-
love of a woman and going to such great lengths that he will drive her across the country
That's-
to win her love not a rom-com? How is that not
that
a romantic
is,
story?
That
then?
is the you're
a woman comes
you're
between
whittling
two,
it down like
a woman comes between
is-
two best friends. They get into a fight
This
with each
is-
other because they're both in love with the same woman.
That's like saying-
Harry goes on a date with Mary.
That's
Lloyd
like
is in
saying-
love with Mary.
That's like
It-
saying
it-
Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg and Chris Stapleton, Tennessee Whiskey are the same songs because they both have hard liquor in the fucking.
yeah, if hard liquor songs was a category and you were arguing that gin and
It's-
juice was a
it's
hard liquor song,
that-
I would say Tennessee Whiskey
When-
would then
you
have to
whittle
be
it,
in there. Yeah.
you can whittle anything down to fit a narrative. If you've seen
Which is
something
what you've
about,
done, where you say there's something about Mary fits into your box, but the rest of them don't.
All right.
I am not. I am talking about the entirety
This is
of
the
the
worst
movie.
idea
All right,
you've
all right,
ever had.
You're right. You're right.
I'm taking the entirety
One
of
last-
the movie, every single plot point in that movie, and Dumb and Dumber.
I'll take your word for it. Again, I have not seen There's Something About Mary, so I'll take your word for it. I think Dumb and Dumber, based on what you're saying, I think Dumb and Dumber should also be considered rom-com. That's
You're
all.
gonna have the people on the internet thinking you've never seen There's Something About Mary.
I have not.
Can I get,
think that's
like,
fine for them.
Did you
an
see
arbiter
the?
in
I haven't
here?
seen
Did
that
you?
movie.
I am the arbiter.
A different one.
Did you see the?
I mean,
Did you see the Cubs game last night?
yeah, I did watch it.
That was a good game. I enjoyed it.
I was an ass game. It was the ass bowl. Those are two bad teams playing.
I think one's worse than the other.
Well, one is absolutely worse than the other,
Mm-hmm.
but two pretty shit teams. And Chicago baseball is in a bad spot, and I am very, very dejected about the state of baseball as a whole. And I hate what ownership has done to baseball fans in the city. I think we can probably be in agreement there. Yeah, see, look at that. Meeting of minds.
That's going a little far, don't you think?
Shook hands. Typically,
That's
means
hands.
you've
That's a
met-
meeting of the hands.
You've met, but it means you've met minds.
I don't think that's always what that means. Sometimes it means hello.
Right there, it did.
It means hello. How are you?
Sure. Yeah, but right there it was like we've come to.
Titus, would you like to say that was a meeting of the minds?
That was,
that
I don't
moment.
know what. Yes, because I don't want to fight with Dave anymore.
Okay. All right. Dave, thank you. You're always.
That was big
I'll
of you.
pop in.
You're making.
I'll pop
Making
in.
there's hope for him
time to
yet.
time.
Making
Mhm.
some strides, admitting that he was wrong. That was nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
All
right. Continue.
thank you, Dave.
Can we address that poll then? To
Poll.
We don't really. I don't know what you're talking about.
there's a poll.
What's the
There-
poll?
It was well in my favor. Is Something About Mary rom-com or is it not? It was well in my favor last I looked.
Well,
That's fine.
it's time for our 10:57.
That's fine.
Agreed.
Our 10:57.
You put out a poll.
hockey segment.
I didn't. Viva La Stool did. I don't know who runs it.
Is that how you say that? Viva la stool.
Viva La Stool.
Viva la stool.
Viva La Stool.
All right,
Bye, guys.
Dave. Good day to you, sir.
Good day to you.
Well, yesterday, are you going to do an ad?
I'll do an ad.
Okay.
I'll do an ad.
Can I just say something real quick?
Okay. Go ahead.
You thought that was a bad idea,
I did.
and you were right. That was a bad idea.
That was a bad idea.
Sorry.
That's exactly how I saw that going.
Yeah. Sorry.
And you.
That's on me. I haven't been here.
I was flustered by you setting this whole thing up, and then we start, and you're like, "Go ahead, Titus."
I still do remember it differently. I thought it came. Y'all argued it first. I don't remember being the
So I
first.
thought you were on my team, and then all of a sudden,
But I was going to
starting-
I was just gonna let you.
I know, but you understand my confusion. Is that like it was like, "All right, Brandon, let's go get him," and then and then you like kind of pushed me to the front. And you're like, "All right, you go," and then I was like, "I thought we were stepping together."
You should see There's Something About Mary.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good movie. It's probably a good movie, and I'd probably enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just. Did you ever play the over/under game with your friends? You know, think I can eat that slice of pizza in under 30 seconds, or I know it'll take you over a minute to down that 2-liter. If you have, then you're going to love Pick 6, the new fantasy game from DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA. Here's how to play during the NBA playoffs. It's super simple. First, download the DraftKings Pick 6 app. Then pick between 2 and 6 players and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat like rebounds, points, assists, and more. Track your picks and play against others for a shot to win huge cash prizes. That's all there is to it. And for all first time Pick 6 players, check this out. New customers play $5 and get 50 in Pick 6 credit. Pick 6 credits. Play Pick 6 from DraftKings, the new fantasy app that packs more fun into less time. Download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code FAMILY. New customers play $5 and get 50 in Pick 6 credits. That's code FAMILY only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Yeah, it was just there was no
Yeah, it was bad.
there was no world in which anyone's ever going to change their mind.
You try. You
Ever.
You throw up some shots, some go in.
Yeah.
Most of mine don't.
So we're just gonna yell at each other a bunch.
You want to do
Although
the
it-
fast food fries argument that's happening on?
It was
Twitter?
interesting that
No,
Dave-
because I think Compton's lying.
I think when Dave revealed that like he's never actually seen a rom-com,
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
we kind of know where he's coming from at that point.
Anyway, yesterday Ohio State got a commitment from a running back named Bo Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Bo
It's
Jackson.
big time.
And that is one of the coolest names you could possibly have as a running back going to Ohio State. I don't know if he's good. I think he's a 4-star. I'm sure he's good if he's committed to Ohio State. But I just want him to succeed. But I started looking into him today. You know what Bo Jackson, it's his nickname. Do you know what his real name
His
is?
nickname is Bo.
His nickname is Bo. You know what his real name is?
Michael. I don't know.
Bo Jackson, who committed to Ohio State yesterday, his real name is Lamar Jackson Jr. So this guy has a choice of Lamar Jackson Jr. being his name in football or Bo Jackson. And I think that might be the coolest thing that's ever happened to anybody.
It makes sense why he changed his name. You didn't want everybody to get confused
And think he
about
was-
is he the football player.
Yeah.
Like everyone's gonna think I'm the football player. I need to change my name from Lamar.
To Bo.
So that way, that'll clear it up.
I mean, that is Lamar Jackson Jr. or Bo Jackson. Can you imagine getting to pick between two better people than that?
Yeah,
I guess
That is-
he's not Lamar Jackson's son, by the way, but he is Lamar Jackson's
That's
son.
probably a curse though, because he plays running back. To be Bo Jackson and a running back, like that's a curse. Like you have to be pretty fucking good, or else everyone's gonna be this.
If they changed his position to quarterback, you think he'd change his name to Lamar?
back to
Jackson
Lamar, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It works on me though, because I saw that Ohio State got a commitment from Bo Jackson. I got very excited.
Yeah.
Know nothing about the kid. Don't know a damn thing.
Well,
Is he
immediately,
a
though-
5-star? Is he a 4-star? 3-star?
He's a 4.
Is he-
I think
is
he's a
he
high
good?
4.
Is he not good?
Is he
Who
a
knows?
10-star in your book?
He's a 10-star in my book.
Bo Jackson from Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland.
He's a 4-star, 93. He'll probably be a 5-star by the signing day because he committed to Ohio State. That's how
Yep.
these things work. But yeah, so he doesn't.
It's big time.
I did. So as soon as I saw he committed, I was like, "Does Bo Jackson have a son that would be this age?" But I think Bo Jackson's kids are they're probably like in their 30s or 40s by now.
Moving forward for Ohio State, is it national championship or bust?
100%.
I'm not saying every single year, but definitely this
No.
year. And then
It's this year. It's beat Michigan. Or bust.
This year's beat Michigan or bust.
I
Ryan
don't
Day
know.
But if you lose in the national
Well-
title game, I don't think it's bust.
Okay.
could. But the problem is with the 12-team playoff, there is a world now where Ohio State could lose one game this year and win a national championship, and
Yeah.
that one game could be Michigan.
Yes, it
So
could. And
if
that almost happened 2 years ago.
if they lose to Michigan but still win the national championship, Ryan Day would not be fired.
I think it would
I don't
be
think. I think people would be
incredibly-
sad they lost to Michigan, but they would also be like, I mean, we just won a national championship.
Well, you're not thinking about that too. That that multi-week period between losing to Michigan and the playoff, because if he loses to Michigan for the fourth time, when they're going to be favored, it's going to be so loud. Like, it's going to be
absolutely
distracting as hell.
Yeah.
Him bouncing back and winning a national title after what he's going to have to hear if that were to happen would be.
But I'm just fleshing out all the hypotheticals. There is the world where they could do that.
They got within one field goal of winning the national championship 2 years ago after Michigan.
That's right, yeah.
If they beat Georgia, they would go on to destroy TCU. They would have won that national title.
Targeting call that wasn't made.
Yeah.
I just don't think it was targeting. But
headhunting our best player.
Well,
yeah, crazy.
have y'all talked?
But I think so. To answer your question, yeah, it does feel that way in Columbus. We're going to lose in the national championship. That's my prediction. Is
well, they always recruit insane.
No, but now they're spending the most on players too in the portal. And
I don't know who we're going to lose to yet, but Ohio State. You put this on record.
I think you play. Do you play at Oregon? I believe. I think you play.
No. I mean, in the
national title
playoff.
game.
I don't know who we're going to lose to in the national championship.
Oh, Georgia.
You can put this on record. We will make the national championship and lose.
Got you.
The Buckeyes will finish runner-up this year.
Maybe Texas.
I think there are 4 teams going into the year that are going to be head and shoulders above everybody else, and then there's just a giant mess of the next 20 teams. And Ohio State's definitely. I got Ohio State number 2 going in. I got Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Texas 3, Oregon 4, and then who knows?
Yeah.
Is Georgia that good?
Georgia's going to be pretty damn good. I think Carson Beck is going to take a step forward. I think the defense probably returns to what they were more 2 years ago. They're just loaded.
Yeah.
They do have to replace big receiving targets, McConkey and the tight end, but I think they'll do.
How many teams do you think get in the preseason poll will get first place votes?
I think those 4.
And
Oregon might not get one, but I would say Georgia and Ohio State will get the most. Georgia will get the most. Ohio State will get the second most. Then Texas and Oregon will each get a couple.
Okay.
I think. I don't think anybody else will, unless somebody just like
there'll
really
be one guy at the Detroit Free Press that votes for Michigan.
Somebody will be like somebody will look at Notre Dame's schedule and give Notre Dame a first place vote, even though they don't.
There will be one more team
that's
ranked like 12th but got one first place vote.
That's exactly right. And I think Notre Dame is a good candidate for that. Michigan's a good candidate for that because somebody will say, "Well, nobody's beat them yet."
Yeah, they won it last year.
Yeah. Even though
until they lose, they have to be considered the number 1 team or something. Yeah.
There's like 5 people in that building that were there last year.
Yeah.
So how many teams do you think are going to get the? So we'll have 4. Those 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to have 7 at larges or 8 at larges, one being group of 5.
Yeah.
Automatic bid. So 7 at larges. Who are the teams? Penn State.
Yeah, it'll be
Notre Dame.
It'll be the second, and the SEC will probably have 3 or 4. Big Ten will have 3 or 4.
You think they get 4? You don't think there's any chance that like the Big 12 or ACC gets like a 2-bid league?
It could. I'm just trying to flesh it out. So in the SEC, I think there's 8 fan bases that believe they might have a playoff run in them this year. Okay, because we haven't documented Alabama yet. Like Alabama clearly believes, and they're going to be talented. I don't know. I think they'll go 9-3. I don't think they'll make the playoff, but whatever. Alabama thinks they can make it. Tennessee thinks they can make it. Ole Miss thinks they can make it. Missouri thinks they can make it. Like LSU always thinks they can make it. Like and LSU is very talented. Ole Miss is very talented. So I'd say the SEC is set up probably for the most bids this particular year, but Big Ten also.
So conference championship games, like they matter now. So
yeah, because you want to get in that top 4.
Say we got a Virginia Tech versus an undefeated Florida State for the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech has a 2-loss ACC team. They go in, they beat Florida State in the ACC championship.
Then I think you got both.
They get the automatic bid. They get 2. So we're going to have a lot of bid stealing this year probably, and there's going to be a lot of pissed off SEC fans.
Whoa.
Yeah, there could like if you're going in the conference championship week and you're an SEC team and you're ranked 11th, I think that ACC and that Big 12 title game become gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
They become just absolutely.
But then
huge.
in your scenario, Florida State wouldn't make it. They would just put in another SEC.
Yeah, probably Bama.
They would, yeah.
Well, I don't. Do we have precedent for?
Well,
that?
then, but then they wouldn't be undefeated.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They would. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it is. Yeah.
It's the right line of thinking, but ultimately the wrong conclusion because they would still just put in like a 5-loss SEC team.
Yeah.
Over Florida State.
Making a Florida State note to myself. I got to talk to Florida State fans later. I have to. Did you just say? Is this you, Blutman, texting me, or is this your dad?
My father texted me to tell Mark Titus to check his DM.
Okay.
So I assume that's going to be a text from Marky to you saying the same.
Because I don't have either of your names in my phone yet, but you both have a 702.
Yep.
Is the Mary debate over? I have the answer. I have proof.
Mark Blutman. Oh, my God. All right. Well, I don't want to.
Or does it?
I don't want to revisit the debate, but I
gotta find out if it goes-
I don't think we need to. I think he ends it.
Does it go in my favor? Is what I'm asking.
Yes. He reached out to the man who wrote There's Something About Mary. And he said, I would call it an R-rated comedy. That's it. That's what the screenshot says. That's game, set, match right there is what Mark Blutman added. So.
That's such a flex.
There you go.
So, yeah,
there you go.
I just text the guy who wrote it.
What's up?
Mr. Blutman.
Well, you know, Brando, I get involved in your all's healthy debates, but the answer, you know, White Sox Dave was saying, hey, I would do a cameo with a Farrelly brother, a Ben Stiller, a Cameron Diaz. White Sox Dave is not doing a cameo with Cameron Diaz, or Cameron's not doing one with Dave. But I happen to be very close friends with one of the writers of There's Something About Mary.
All right.
And I asked him the question last night upon seeing the film of you guys all going nuclear.
Sure.
And the answer is in Mark Titus'
Yep.
DMs on Twitter.
Yeah.
But now you're on the phone. You can just tell me the answer.
The answer from the writer is it was an R-rated comedy.
Which means it is not a romantic comedy.
It is not under the category rom-com.
There we go.
It is an R-rated comedy. That is from the original writer, Mr. John J. Strauss.
Well, you've heard it from Mr. John J. Strauss. This discussion is over. Mr. Blutman, your son is in the room. Would you like me to pass on any messages to him?
Brush your teeth.
All right. Thank you very much.
Do
Good day,
daily,
sir.
Twice.
Hey,
Sometimes
your
thrice.
dad says to brush your teeth.
I do. I was gonna say sometimes. That's bad. Sometimes thrice. Every day, twice.
Since you're here, I have a hockey question.
Yep.
What was that? What was that?
Well, I don't know.
Be excited, man. We're doing lacrosse, golf, baseball, tennis right now. You're a tennis guy.
Heckin' excited to answer this.
Okay. In hockey, we have established Mark Titus has coined the Edmonton Oilers America's team. So America is going to be rooting for the Edmonton Oilers to win this Stanley Cup. We all agree with that.
Yep.
Now, in Canada, there aren't that many teams left, right? And I know there's a big deal that a Canadian team hasn't won in X many years. But out there in the western half of Canada, I assume they're all rivals, like Calgary Flames,
Battle of Alberta.
Vancouver Canucks. Like, none of these probably have any love for the Edmonton Oilers. So my question is Canada rooting for the Edmonton Oilers, or are they rooting against them because they hate them because of rivalries?
There's no chance a Flames fan with a pulse is rooting for Edmonton.
What about a Canucks fan?
What about the
Canucks
dead?
fan really should not be, especially after they went 7 games with that Edmonton team while having numerous key player injuries to Pettersson, Demko, etc. Like, they shouldn't be rooting.
What about a
for them.
dead Flames fan? Without a pulse?
Yeah, still probably not. The hate runs deep. Battle of Alberta is just different. I mean, they had goalie fights just a few years ago between goalies who played for both teams in that rivalry.
Are Ottawa Senators fans allowed to root for them?
I highly doubt a Senators fan would ever root for the Oil to win the
Canadiens fan?
Canadiens fans aren't going to root for it because they're the king, right? Like, they're top of the list. They've got all their Stanley Cups before anyone was actually born. Like, they don't want that to go away.
A Toronto Maple Leafs fan.
Maple Leafs fans are trying to figure out how to get rid of Mitch Marner. They're on cap friendly figuring out trade scenarios. They're not watching the Stanley Cup.
And a Winnipeg Jets fan.
Why would a Winnipeg Jets fan want Connor McDavid to win the Stanley Cup? They can't get a player of his caliber, let alone any player, to even show interest in coming to Winnipeg to play hockey. They're not rooting for that.
I think that answers it.
They
So
can't have
Edmonton.
Edmonton.
Oh, well, there's one more team. Are Edmonton Oilers fans rooting for Edmonton to win the Stanley Cup?
I think a bit, but I think some. I think some are seeing the hunger and the fire and the passion that is building up right now, and are thinking, well, wouldn't it be fun to just do this again next year? I think maybe they want that. Maybe they're seeking that out.
So you're saying they want to win this year and next year too?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's-
but I'm saying they might be completely okay with losing because that thought of getting there next year and doing it all over again excites them.
But to the larger point, it sounds like Canada is not cheering for Edmonton.
Canada cannot be cheering for
So
Edmonton.
how can they be?
They're not Canada's
They're
team.
not
can't.
Canada's team.
They
They're America's.
can't.
So the Panthers are Canada's team, and the Oilers are America's team.
Yes.
Exactly.
And
So I was right the whole time.
Yes, correct. And there's probably even other countries that are rooting for the Oilers and not the Panthers and vice versa.
I've been told that Mark's stance of Edmonton being a blue-collar town isn't correct, that Edmonton is not a blue-collar town. But they're called the Oilers because of all the oil up there. So
That's a Ryan Whitney question.
I don't know who that is.
Me either.
Yeah, I should ask him.
He'll be in that.
But I don't have access to Ryan Whitney. I have access to you.
Oh, okay. I would rather get that question from or answer from someone who's been in the Edmonton area. I have
Mark,
not
you've been to Edmonton?
I've been to Edmonton.
Okay, so then
That's why. That's what it was from personal experience. It felt
okay,
like
then
it was.
then it's blue collar.
I was compared to Vancouver and Toronto, Calgary.
They oil.
They got the oil up there.
Yeah.
It was. It was
Is
a
Calgary
compliment.
not blue-collar? They have the Saddle Dome.
Calgary felt like it had way more money to me. Calgary felt more.
farmy.
Yeah, a little bit. Calgary felt. Maybe I just went to different spots. I don't know. Edmonton felt like it was more salt of the earth people. Calgary were.
They have a rodeo in Calgary. It's a stampede.
Yeah,
The Hart family.
the Calgary Stampeders CFL
Yeah.
team.
Saddledome.
Saddledome.
The Saddle Dome is in Calgary. It's a fact.
Yeah,
You can look that up on pretty much any Sporkle.
yeah.
Yeah, you play.
I mean, like
So who's Russia rooting for?
who?
Who's Russia rooting for?
Oh, Russia. Oof.
Oof.
The Panthers, because the Oilers have like 23 Canadians on the roster. That is kind of funny. The Oilers are America's team, but they have an overwhelming number of Canadians on their team. I think the most in the league. But Russia has to root for the Panthers because they've got some really good Russian talent on that team, whereas Edmonton doesn't really have that.
All right, who is France rooting for?
Oof. Alexander Texier is not on either of these teams. So
Yeah.
France is they're tennis watching and then they're not gonna be watching sports after.
What's the most exciting tennis match for today?
Ooh, Zverev de Minaur is gonna be really fun.
Is that the one you said that I could watch and
Andrews
become a tennis fan?
No, that's gonna be Sinner Alcaraz on Friday. I'm gonna need you in the gambling cave.
What time does it start?
To be determined, or 7:30 a.m. One of the two. I will have to see. Because,
To be determined.
Blah, 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 blah. We have to wait because.
So it sounds like it's to be
It's
determined.
to be determined. You
Right.
to say 7.
You don't have to say to be determined or.
Okay, well, yeah, fine. It probably won't. Probably closer to like 12:31, because they'll want the main stage for that. I would assume they should.
His name,
12:31.
his name's Sinner, for real?
Yes, Yannick Sinner. He's a ginge. He grew up skiing as well. He's incredible, best player in the world since September.
But I thought
October.
Alcaraz is the new hotness, right?
Both of them are
Both of them.
the new hotness.
Is
Yeah.
Djokovic
Yeah, good
withdrawing-
question here.
withdrawing? Is that bullshit? Should he have not? He should
He's
have.
getting surgery.
But he
But
should have.
Was it selfish?
It was a selfish. He got hurt in the match. He could have just withdrawn then
And let
in the middle of the
Cerundolo
match and let another guy go
advance.
through in advance.
Yeah.
Is that a selfish move?
Or is it selfish, or is it like that guy's just a competitor and he
I
just wanted to
think-
win that one match?
I think what I thought Novak would have done, and I think what a lot of people expected Novak to do, was play the first set, lose it, and then retire, and then go and get his surgery. I think him just having to withdraw and go and get the surgery ASAP kind of shows that this fella is actually in serious pain. How impressive that win was.
Yeah.
He got to go out on his own terms and dictate.
Yeah.
That's
That was
great.
super
Also,
impressive.
if you lose to a guy with a torn up knee, you probably didn't deserve to advance anyway.
But all he really accomplished was
You weren't gonna win.
crushing that guy's hopes
Yeah.
and dreams.
Yeah, Cerundolo's hopes and dreams were necessary there. His brother Juan Manuel was probably really rooting for him. Juan Manuel also plays tennis, more of the challenger tier. And then there was no chance Cerundolo would beat Casper Ruud, though, to get to the
No,
semis.
certainly
chance.
not.
Casper
Certainly
Ruud is very deserving of making the semifinal and ultimately the final after he beats Zverev or de Minaur.
Ebo, why did you put on the sheet that Christian McCaffrey got a 2-year extension and now makes more than Tim Hardaway Jr.
Because people were clowning him on Twitter yesterday. It's like, congratulations to Offensive Player of the Year and the best running back in football, and finally making more money than Tim.
Oh, it was like it's
another
a
basketball
statement
money
on the salaries in the NFL versus
Yeah.
the NBA. I got you.
I think Tim Hardaway is like the.
I was trying to track the connection of like why that mattered, but now
Yeah.
that's a greater. It's just an example of how crazy NBA
Yeah.
salaries are.
Yeah. I think he's like the 80-something highest player in the NBA.
You almost said W.
I know. It's just.
it's on the
I'm not
forefront
thinking
of
about the WNBA, Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
Yeah.
not thinking about it.
By the way, Blutman, I'm gonna and really all of you in this room except for Brandon. I'm willing to pay for your fines if any of you guys get fined at Barstool. I will pay for. I'm not gonna pay for Brandon's because he actually might get fined. Serious amounts of money.
There's a risk there, yeah.
But Lonzo Ball stepping up, taking care of the
Oh.
Angel Reese, $500 fine.
Yeah.
Same.
Hero,
Commendable.
heroic of Lonzo Ball to do that.
Would you pay? Would
Kind
you
of a
pay
dick
for
move by that league to fine anybody. Like, maybe make them run laps or something. Let's not. $500 is
Make 'em
like
run
one
laps.
1/16 of a year's check.
Got to do a suicide.
You're like, what can the commissioner hand down as like a reasonable punishment for like?
Do they have a commissioner?
They have the Commissioner's Cup.
Wasn't the question.
Yeah, but they clearly would have a commissioner. Off
Like,
that.
if you suspend a player for 3 games, like that's
significant.
that's like their living expenses. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. And I know you guys probably taught Caitlin Clark the last 2 days.
Yeah.
So I'm late to the party.
Yeah, dude. That's
And I don't want to
Yeah.
get involved. I know there's what's happening in the WNBA. There's a jealousy element. There's a basketball element. There's a race element. Like, there's all these things at play. I just want to enter one last opinion to it, and nobody's really thought of this. I think people might be fouling her hard or attacking her or doing these things because of how enjoyable it looks like it is, because she falls so dramatically. Like, every time she's even touched, it's just like,
Oh my God.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my God.
Oh no!
and you can see where that would be.
you got the late.
That was
What?
wild.
That was wild. I think we got the point
And you
before
can
you
see-
had to.
You can see where that would be. That would
Oh
be
my
fun.
God.
Gonna be
dude.
down there for a couple.
Yeah. All right, Brandon's out tomorrow.
She
Brandon's
flops-
out the rest of the week. We'll see Brandon
flops over
hopefully on
everything.
Monday.
So every time you touch her, it's just like, oh, I'm going to see if she'll just throw her arms up in the air.
What a nightmare!
By the way, I'm trapped.
You could have just said she flops.
We gotta
We
be
got the picture, dude.
praying and being thankful to God that it was that shelf that fell and not the other one.
The
Yeah.
whole shelf fall?
Well,
Everything
The
on
other
the shelf.
shelf. With
the other shelf would have been
PS
like a Looney Tunes esque.
Yeah,
damage to your
PS2
face.
and the
Oh, I'm not up yet.
not up.
DraftKings helmet.
Oh no!
It's still falling.
I got a cramp.
You break your.
Plotman, go give him a hand.
What is going on?
You're gotta be his teammate. You're being like
gotta
Caitlin Clark's
let him-
teammates, not helping her out.
Yeah.
It's like
got
a
to get out of
a
this.
turtle when it's fell in its shell.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Thank God for that visual, Brandon.
It's just the
we wouldn't have.
she falls so dramatically that I think she has to shoulder some of the blame for everybody wanting to hit her.
Yeah, and you said that, and I couldn't picture it. And
Yeah.
Now I see. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Brandon, I think what they're not getting is that there's a density to the way that
There's a
she falls.
heft.
Yeah.
There's a weight to it.
That was insane.
That was one of the crazier things that's been done on this show.
You just took a fucking.
What a day. What a.
That was a bump.
bump, dude.
Triple H would have been proud of that.
Oh my God.
Good sell.
There's a non-zero chance he's not coming in tomorrow. He's out for tomorrow.
Double torn quads or something.
Are you? What's questionable? Doubtful?
Are you hurt or injured?
He's Brandon's status for tomorrow is either he'll be here or it's to be determined. Those are the two. Those are the two options.
My hamstrings are hurt. I don't know how those are the two body parts that took it. They're on fire right now.
you said you didn't want to talk about Caitlin Clark, and we certainly don't. But if you did want to talk about it, one thing I would add is that I do think all the people, all the discourse going on about the whole thing, I do think that if one or two more people make the point to the rest of the WNBA that they should be grateful for Caitlin Clark, and they should they shouldn't be so upset. They should actually be happy, and they should celebrate her being in the league. I think we just need like one or two more people to make that point, and I think they'll finally get it. I think they're right there. I think they're almost going to get it. And I think what you need to do is all the women that are showing frustration about how the only questions they get asked about are Caitlin Clark, and the only thing anybody wants to talk to them about is Caitlin Clark. I think you just got to keep talking to them about it.
Asking.
You just keep asking. You just keep asking them, and they're going to turn the corner, and they're going to be like, aha. Oh, I get it now. That'll definitely work. So
I did like first of all, Kennedy Carter was just ridiculous the other day. However, when she said, I'm not going to be answering any Caitlin Clark questions, I just imagine the entire press corps just looked at each other like,
fuck, what else we got?
What do we do? That's all we got.
I will answer any questions about the game today. And then everyone's just like, oh, fuck.
They're looking up sheets. What was the score? Who even played here today? Oh, she's on the Sky.
JJ Redick's gonna be the coach of the league. Oh, you had something else on?
I was just gonna say, if there's one person or one group of people to point to in this whole WNBA thing, it's the reporters who have done a terrible job throughout this entire process.
Not Greg Doyle. He welcomed
Greg Doyle tried.
He welcomed her with the heart.
Yeah, Greg Doyle.
So maybe if everybody else had done the heart, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Yeah, if every single person in the WNBA gave Caitlin Clark a heart, yeah, you're right. We would not be in this mess at all.
No. If all the players, when she gets announced, would just stand at midcourt and do the heart emoji, we'd all be happy.
Do that heart again. That was a tomato.
What is?
That's
what is this, dude?
That's a tomato.
Just go like that. You get the rest of your fingers in there. You're going.
Now drop your thumbs. Drop your thumbs. Yeah. Nope. Now drop your fingers.
You were going like this, dude. You were like you had like all this extra noise.
There's my heart.
The point at the bottom and the top.
What?
This one.
How did that become the heart shape? The hearts don't look like that at all.
Why not just point to
I think
your
it was
heart?
the Grinch.
Just point to your heart. I guess I'd be pointing towards
the Grinch was the first heart we saw.
That's a good heart.
Hearts don't look like that. Yeah.
That is a good heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm a Fever fan, dude. We're all of Fever fans are really good at the heart. That's what we do.
We got Jazz New Jerseys just dropped, but there's a catch.
What's the catch?
Here's the new jerseys.
Yep. They're the old jerseys.
Yes.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Now we're fucking talking.
We got to know what the catch is.
I don't. Yeah. Now
the catch is.
Yep.
Some of these jerseys won't be worn for 2 seasons.
Why? What's going on?
These are their new city editions for next year.
Yeah.
The black ones won't be worn until January 1st, 2025. The other 3s won't be worn until the 25-26 season.
Oh, I'll be dead by then.
Why?
Why would you
But they
announce
announced
this now?
them today.
They're shirts. Why do we have to have a year and a half or 2 years of notice?
You should announce these. Honestly, it might be too early to announce these for next season. I think you should announce them like in
the day before.
August.
Yeah.
I think the NBA needs to. Adam Silver needs to come to a microphone and say, "Listen, starting September 1st, when preseason opens, every team has to wear what they wore in the 1997-98 season."
Yeah.
Done.
I agree with that.
Done.
Same length of like shorts and everything.
Well, we can modify.
The Jazz, those jerseys they had that were like neon yellow and just said Jazz in block letters. Those are the worst jerseys in NBA history. Yeah. Those were awful.
The Hawks had some bad ones when the neon thing was going on. The Hawks had some bad neon.
Just block letters that say Jazz
like
and then
phase.
I don't know, dude. Kids. It's the kids. It's the youth.
2012 Olympics.
It's the youth.
2012 Olympics.
It's the damn.
I don't get
it's
the
these damn kids.
Neon.
Oh, okay.
What happened in the 2012 Olympics?
Yeah.
London had 2 color schemes, or Nike had 2 color schemes for all the U.S. gear. It was like reflective or neon yellow.
Yeah.
It was all the 2012 stuff. I had shoes in a backpack.
The NBA, like doing that for the Jazz where they don't get jerseys for 2 seasons, reminds me of the Boston Bruins got new jerseys this season, right? They went for more of a throwback approach. Hold on. Next season, since Fanatics is coming in and doing the jerseys, the Bruins can't use the new jerseys that they got, and they're going to have to go back to the jerseys that they were wearing like 2, 3, 4 seasons ago, etc., And then after like 2 years of wearing those jerseys again, Fanatic says your new jerseys that you got in 2023-2024 season will be ready and you guys could wear.
I'm sorry,
Mark, go ahead.
have the Boston Bruins not had the same jersey for 1,000 years?
They got new updated jerseys
that's not
for more of like a throwback feel.
What I was going to say, he was saying like, oh, we have this Jazz story, and then related to that, like the Bruins play hockey.
Yeah, the Bruins play hockey.
That's not related to the Bruins play hockey.
I don't think it could have been more related.
They could play, huh?
Sport jersey, taking years for jersey to be able to be worn.
It could have been more related. It could have been another team in Utah.
As related as that topic could ever be related.
Do we have Utah hockey jerseys yet?
You have Utah logos, and
they're not
how
good.
About this? Pretty crazy what they're doing with one letter on there. Whoa.
Let me see. Let me see. I gotta
it
see.
better be crazy.
It's nuts.
Does anybody else want to fall out? Those letters all seem the same.
That H is a little slanted.
The H is a little slanted.
Oh shit.
So
they really went crazy.
Oh shit.
They went extreme.
Hey, stop! You crazy for this one?
They went Utah mode. Look at that, dude. It's
I'm gonna do it to him.
tilted.
I'm gonna do it to him. We're gonna do it. Ah!
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Look at H, man.
Tweet this out him. Do the graphic designer when he was doing this, and do like the guy that's writing and his pen's on fire.
Just going from that like retro Coyote to now this.
Yeah.
Just like the Tom
You think-
shoes look.
You think he turned
Yeah.
it in with the H was straight, and they're like, no, this just
Anymore.
isn't dazzle us.
No, they probably turned in like 20 options, and it was just like it was all the same except the angle at which the H goes. And they all just sorted through. And we're like, I like it slanting down left. And this other guy's like, I don't know, man. I like it to the right. I like it to the right more. Oh, the Toms.
Or just Towley from South Park.
Are they going to put out a graphic too, pointing to like each element of the logo and what it means?
Yeah.
It's like the U is for Utah.
The T is for the
T-
second letter in Utah.
A is for all the Utah.
All the Utah. The blue represents. The white stripe represents this.
Well, what
all the
does-
white people in Utah.
What does the H represent?
Holy shit, it's
Holy
Utah.
shit! Holy shit! This H is
Holy
slanted.
heck. Holy heck.
Yeah, heck.
But what's the slant?
I
We don't
Gotta
know.
figure out the
We don't
slant.
know.
I can't answer that.
Well, yeah, I told you it was nuts.
That is nuts.
I can't believe JJ Redick's actually going to be the coach of the Lakers. I gotta say, I shouldn't be surprised by this, but I am. I am very surprised that this is actually a thing that's going to happen.
You don't think his coaching experience is going to lend a hand to this?
That's true. He has been. He has a ton of coaching experience. I'm just like Joe Mazzulla is about to win an NBA championship, so that's gonna make what I'm about to say seem like a dumbass thing to say. But it's just wild to live in a time where the head coaching job comes open for the Boston fucking Celtics, and they hire a 34-year-old who's never been a head coach.
Yeah.
The head coaching job for the Los Angeles Lakers comes open. They hire Darvin Ham.
The two biggest jobs.
Then they hire JJ
basketball.
Redick, who's they hire a podcaster. That's just where we're at, I guess, with sports.
Yeah.
I guess that's just how it.
I mean, coaching in the NBA just doesn't like. Mazzulla's either going to win or Jason Kidd, who everybody just decided a couple years ago was the worst. He was terrible, and one of those is going to win a title.
I just don't. I don't know what I wouldn't do that if I was JJ Redick. He's got such a cushy thing going.
I think I would though.
He's so.
He's been the coach of the Lakers.
It's the cushy. He's got the cushiest gig going right now, and his whole thing is like, I'm smarter than you. That's his whole thing right now in the media. Is like, I'm JJ Redick. You're a dumb bitch.
And he doesn't have to prove it.
Yeah, he opens every show. I listen to the show, so I know this. He opens every show. He says, I'm JJ Redick and you're a dumb bitch. Welcome to my and then he just goes, and that's the show. And now it's like, if things don't go well in Los Angeles, when they won't. They never do.
He might be a dumb bitch.
He might be, yeah. What if the dumb bitch was coming from inside the podcast studio?
What if the dumb bitch was
Just
inside
here.
him all along?
What if the dumb bitch is in this room right now? Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably overstating it, but like I think like a guy like me or Doug Gottlieb's kind of doing the same thing where he's got his radio show and he's going to be a head coach. We're fucking idiots and like, we just spout off bullshit into microphones and who really cares? I think JJ is like He had such like a curated public persona in the NBA media space that I think it's put it in jeopardy by coaching the Los Angeles Lakers. He's going to be under immense scrutiny, and when he gets fired a year and a half into the gig and he tries to go back to media and be like, I'm smarter than all of you, I don't know how that's going to play.
I do think he can always get the media spot back that he's got now.
Definitely.
But it's just to me, it's not interesting from the J.J. Redick perspective because, of course, he's going to do it. It's interesting from the Lakers perspective. You have LeBron James, you have AD, you have talent. You are the Los Angeles Lakers, and you hold out a help wanted sign, and it gets answered by Darvin Ham and then a podcaster. Like what? I don't get.
You think if JJ gets fired a year and a half in, they'll give him 1 full year, and then the second year is not going well, and they fire him. You think that like LeBron? You think he's going to be still tight with LeBron after that? Like if they fire him, I'm sure
it's LeBron's doing.
The relationship with LeBron is eroded, which then calls into question the podcast he has with LeBron. I don't mean to say like his media career is over. It definitely won't be. He'll still be a star. It's just like he was on a trajectory to like have such an awesome.
I think LeBron's close enough to the end where he probably won't muscle JJ out. Like LeBron's probably got 2 years left anyway. I don't think halfway through that year he's going to say I have to have another coach. I think he's just going to ride it off into the sunset at that point. But who knows?
Yeah.
Well, Gottlieb is still going to be doing his radio show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
JJ,
you're coaching Wisconsin Green Bay or you're coaching the Los Angeles Lakers. Those are two different.
Would be pretty cool if JJ still did the podcast. That'd be fun.
That would be fun, yeah.
During games?
During games.
You think you would if you got offered the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, would you take it?
Yeah, I think I would.
What?
I think I would.
That would be funny. Brandon Walker, head coach.
New LA Lakers coach passes out 3 minutes into the first game.
Lights literally too bright.
Yeah. All right.
You want to do Greatness Wins? I think I gave it to you.
You did not.
You gave it to me. Sorry.
No.
I didn't know that was an ad. What happens when the brightest minds in sports and fashion join forces to create the next great athletic brand? Greatness wins. Mark and Brandon here.
Mm-hmm.
That's us.
That's us.
And Greatness Wins Athletic Clothing has completely transformed our workout game. They do have. They sent us some shorts and some a long sleeve tee. Oh my God, it's so comfortable. Unlike other athletic brands that prioritize fashion over performance, Greatness Wins combines high performance functionality with a modern, stylish fit. Made from premium, long-lasting fabrics, Greatness Wins products are built to withstand the toughest workouts. These are moisture-wicking materials that move with your body, never against it. They also send a hoodie, which is probably one of the more comfortable hoodies I've ever had. It's thin but also warm. Like it's nice hoodie. In fact, the Greatness Wins collection is curated and tested by the world's greatest competitors, me and Mark Titus, meeting the highest standards for quality, construction, and endurance. Greatness Wins has been an absolute game changer. The comfort is unmatched, and these clothes go through countless washes and grueling workouts while still looking and feeling brand new. Don't forget Father's Day is right around the corner. So if my wife is watching, I want some nice clothes. Also, wife, I've been wanting a recliner for 3 years, and you've never bought me one. That doesn't have anything to do with this, but let's just talk later. If you're looking at the perfect gift, look no further. Greatness Wins. Greatness Wins. Greatness Wins. All fathers will love Greatness Wins. And there's more. Upgrade your athletic wear at greatnesswins.com now. Use code MOSTLY. You'll receive 25% off your first purchase. Greatness Wins, where the demands of sport meet the science of fit. Check them out now. That's greatnesswins.com. Code MOSTLY.
What an insane flex by Mark Blutman. Just be like, I reached out to the guy who wrote the movie.
I tell you what, having Mark Blutman in my life has been a major improvement.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we got a lifeline to Hollywood now.
I'm willing to put up with his sons just to have him in my life.
I'm not really willing to put up with his sons. I for a little while, I guess I'll do it. But yeah, Mark is great. Mark Blutman is the salt of the earth. Incredible guy.
I hate his son.
Which one?
Which one?
His son.
He's got 2, doesn't
he? Yeah. Okay, I have a confession. I've seen There's Something About Mary. That was a little joke. I thought I'd fluster Dave.
Yeah.
He said that, and it seemed like it worked. I've seen the film. I've seen the film.
The only problem is you dropped it when he was already flustered.
Yeah.
But he flusters quickly.
Yeah.
Even if he was winning, he still flusters.
He still flusters.
He's a flusterable guy.
He's making great points.
Yeah.
He's doing it in spite of the flusteredness.
Yeah.
Well, he'll probably refluster after you guys tell him
Yeah.
that it's like game over.
Yeah. Do you think he will just accept it and change his point of view? Do you think he'll say
wanna talk to
He will
this
argue
guy.
about
he'll
yeah. He'll know more than the writer.
No. All right, that's it. You're going to be back tomorrow, Brandon? Promise the people you'll be back. Promise
I
the
will be
people
back
that
tomorrow, and I'm
that-
going to throw in a bonus Friday.
Oh, shit.
So,
Oh, shit.
there we go.
Also, the 4th of July stuff is on the
Yes.
live on the store.
Check this out.
America.
Hold on, give it to
somebody.
give it to somebody else. We can't. It's
I'm
Cover your face. Cover your face.
I'm covering my face.
No, cover
It's
your
great.
face. I see that red.
It's a great piece of clothing for covering your something.
Okay, so we have NASCAR, we have a bald eagle, we have a motorcycle, we have hot dogs, and we have beer, and that is America. That's fucking America, dude.
Yeah. I had 3 of those things over
That's
the week.
pretty much that's
Oh.
pretty much it
You got
right
a bald
there.
eagle?
Yeah.
That tells the whole story.
I had a
Right
hot dog, a beer, and I was in America.
I had a bald eagle over the weekend.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
All right, that's the show. See you guys tomorrow.
That's how ball is done.